all food sold, the kitchen gets 1.5%. So it goes into a pool. The more money everybody that's a part of getting that food from the back to the table makes money off of it.
This is Grindset, where we go inside the minds of those that grind, celebrating and spotlighting entrepreneurship in Memphis. With your host, Dana James Mwangi and Williams Brack.
Welcome to Grindset. I'm your host, Williams Brack, owner of Building Bankable Businesses.
And I'm Dana James Mwangi, brand strategist and owner of Cheers Creative.
And we're here with Chef Mo, co-owner and creator of Biscuits and Jam. She's also the chef and operations manager. And today we're talking about the food service or restaurant industry. It is over $1 trillion industry. You got to eat. And in the restaurant industry, it's tough. Everybody will tell you that it's a tough business. And this year, costs are up 98% in the industry. 60% of restaurants fail in their first year. 80% fail within the first 5 years. And then you have places like Biscuits and Jam and Chef Mo. And so we're going to talk about what it takes to run and operate and make money in the food service and restaurant industry.
Well, I definitely have a personal story about Chef Mo, being someone who's very active in the Memphis entrepreneurial scene. I had the honor of consulting food entrepreneurs in Memphis through Epicenter and the Food and Fixins Accelerator. And I quickly realized when Chef Mo came in that she was someone that should have been speaking. She was a wealth of knowledge, and I'm just so thankful to know this gem that we have in this city.
Well, I've eaten at Biscuits and Jam. Chef Mo was actually there. I had great food and great service. And so we're going to talk about what it takes to create that, because it's not easy. You're listening to Grindset, and we'll be right back after the break.
Grindset.
Looking to make your event unforgettable? Let Kadzukian handle all of your event production needs. At Kadzukian, we specialize in event production services that elevate every moment. From flawless sound to captivating visuals, we've got you covered. Make your event shine with Kadzukian. Contact us today at kadzukian.com or give us a call at 901-512-6767.
Kadzukian.
Welcome back to Grindset. We're here with Chef Mo. And just in case you don't know what Chef Mo stands for, Chef Monique Williams, owner, chef, alderman, coach,
Everything.
consultant, but it all surrounds the ability to serve and give back. But before we talk about customer service, before we talk about running a restaurant, let's talk about family cooking and the importance of legacy.
Okay. All right. Well, so I always tell everybody that Biscuits and Jams, and even if I go back to my first brick and mortar patty cakes, bake shop, Talara's Kitchen, even, Trap Fusion, it's a love story to my grandmother. I grew up in a household with a garden in the backyard, picking greens, shucking peas, all that good stuff, and canning. And one of my favorite memories of my childhood is my family coming in town. I had a lot of family in Mississippi, and they moved to California. So when everybody would come in town, they would be coming to Lala's house, which is my grandma, Laura. Stepter. And I just remember seeing all the cakes and pies and the food, and her pulling things out of the deep freeze, which is huge deep freezer, and all this food, and they'd be asking like, "Hey, La, where's the jam at? La, where's the brandy, the peach brandy?" Because she used to take the peach hulls and make brandy from it. So, it's just part of my heritage, food, And when I think about it, I think about love. So, and I feel like that one of my purposes on this planet is to love. and to share love. And that thing that I feel like that I share in it from love is food. So
I love that we all have different purposes, and your vehicle for spreading love is through food, which is amazing. When it comes to your family lineage of cooking, when did you get, so you grew up watching your grandmother, when did you get the cooking bug?
as far as I can remember, I remember her sitting on the couch in the den and me going in there and it's like, hey, Grandma, I want to try to cook some stuff. And she would just let me have my way in the kitchen. You know, people like, oh, she just let you waste food? No, she just let me go in there and do stuff. I would go in there and I'd cook, or I'd pull out her old cookbooks and I'd start cooking. And I'm like, well, this doesn't taste like yours. She's, well, add a pinch of this and add a pinch of that. And like, what's a pinch? Just a pinch.
It's a black measurement is what it is.
Yeah. So I learned how to do pinches, and I would take, I would do that, and I'll get a spoon and I'll take it into the den, like taste it. She's okay. All right, you're almost there. Go back and add this to it. So I think too that's really helped me with my palate and how I can break down food, is because as I'm creating things, I'm tasting them, and I'm okay, that needs a little bit more of this in there, a little bit more of that in there. I see you laughing over there.
No. So how do you convert black measurements into traditional modes of measurements for a restaurant environment?
Oh, I do that all the time. I tell you this is funny, because the first time I create something, I just create it. I'm just adding, by taste, I do it. Second time I do it, I'm just trying to say, okay, I think this is it. Third time I get a sheet of paper, and like you play, I guess that would be like tic-tac-toe, how you do the little lines and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I would take a sheet of paper and I sit it down beside me, and I'll take out all my measuring cups, from 1/4 all the way up to a full cup, 1/8 teaspoon all the way up to a full tablespoon. And then I'll start adding, like by memory, okay, I put about this much, so that looked like a tablespoon. So I'll put a tablespoon in there, and then I'll write down 1 tablespoon. Then I'll taste it. Okay, it leaves a little bit more of that. So I'll take and I'll go, okay, let me add 1/4, or 1/8, and then I'll write that down. And I'll just keep going. And once I get to the flavor that I'm looking for, that's it. And I go back and I just calculate up all of that, and then I convert their recipe over into something that I can teach my staff how to do.
What's that scientific process? It really sounds like the scientific theory when you're cooking.
Is it? Well, I guess so.
That's amazing. Entrepreneurship is all about experimentation, and you're literally experimenting and showing love in real time with your business. You said something that was really crucial. You're experimenting on how to create these recipes and then teach them to your team. How important is it for you to create like this team culture where everyone's on the same page and everybody's producing the same quality and all that?
Well, it's very, very important. I don't even think I can tell you how important that is. One thing with my team at Biscuits and Jams, when I hire people, I tell them up front, we are a team. And when I notice people, like new people coming in and they're not working as a team, I'm like, hey, you're going to make your time here difficult, because you got to work as a team. You can't, this is not a one-man show. I couldn't do what I do without them. So I don't look at it, yeah, this is my business. And I mess with them all the time when they're doing stuff, because I'll come in, we didn't have a dishwasher last week. One day, he got sick. I wash dishes. With my manicured hand, I wash dishes. Then we had a day where the dishwasher broke down. I was over there with the dishwasher, boiling hot water, pouring it into this dishwasher, spent all this money on. But so I say that, like, I show my team that I'm a team player. Even though I'm not on the clock hourly, I don't get paid unless we make money.
Right.
But, they're going to get paid either way. But I show them that I'm willing to do the same thing that I'm paying you to do. And if you come in the door, we're going to work as a team, or you can't work here, And also I try to help them to understand that when it comes to making money for the business, they have to help me make money. By the business making money, they make money. The more money the business makes, the more money you make. For Biscuits and Jams, we have, a lot of people hate the gratuity thing. We use gratuity. Okay, so if you're party 6 or less, it's 18% gratuity. Party 7 or more, 20% gratuity. It's automatic. It's on everything, so everybody knows when they come in. But that doesn't go all to the server. Portion of that goes to the bartender. Portion of that goes to the runner. Also, all food sold, the kitchen gets 1.5%. So it goes into a pool. So at the end of the day, that pool gets broken down. So the more money the business makes, the more money everybody that's a part of getting that food from the back to the table makes money off of that. And that means that if someone in the front messes up, it affects the cook that made the food. If the cook sends out the wrong food, it messes up the runner's money, it messes up the server's money, and ultimately it messes up my money. So,
well, can I take all my gratuity gripes out on you?
yeah, absolutely, you can.
So why not just bake 20% of the food that price into the food instead of charging me an extra 20% at the end?
Well,
because that means when I come in, your food is what, 18 to 20% more every time I come, other than the listed price.
Kind of, but.
So I complain about this a lot. So.
Okay, so let me tell you this. So the cost of food. If I was to charge you the price that I need to charge you for that burger, who's going to pay $30 for a burger? So I'm just going to, okay, so you have a server. The standard rate for a server is $2, I believe, and 13 cents. That's how much they get paid an hour. So their livelihood is based off of tips. We pay our servers $3.25, so we want them to start ahead. If we pay them $12 an hour, who's paying for that $12 an hour?
I'm paying anyway, right?
Kind of, but not really. When you look at it, because if I put it up front, I'm going to have to charge you about $30 for that burger. Whereas you might only, when your ticket bounces out, your gratuity might only be $4. And that's with a burger and fries, an alcoholic beverage, probably some beignets. That's $4. That's not, and that's on a $14 burger versus a $30 burger.
Okay, charge me gratuity then. I like that math.
Yeah.
the numbers make sense. I'll happily pay gratuity instead of a $30 burger. I can get out of there with $4 or $5 extra.
Just listening to you, I can tell you know the ins and out of your business. It seems that you've mastered the art of making, but then the art of offering. How is it difficult for you sometimes to switch between creating and then, doing, business and coming up with those numbers and boosting team morale? And like, how do you decide I'm going to spend this much time creating versus this much time, being the co-owner and all that?
So that's a good question. It's hard. For example, yesterday when we initially opened, we started off as, Wednesday through Sunday. We moved, I think in 2022, Tuesday through Sunday. As of yesterday, we're a 7-day-a-week business. So yesterday was our first Monday. My goal was to come in and make peach jam. Didn't get made yesterday, so I'll be probably making it tomorrow. But when I got in the building, we had 2 customers. And I knew, I'm like, it's going to be a slow day because this is the first thing. We've done our marketing. We've got this all out here, but we just have to wait. Your people say they want Monday, but you don't ever know. So I came in the door and they were standing around. I was like, oh, we've been cleaning. So I said, how many people have we had? It's 2. I said, yeah, that's kind of what I saw on the camera. And you can see it in their faces. I was like, I got you. Whatever you don't make, we're going to make it up, And people started coming through the door, And even though Monday is normally my off day, or I'll come and make stuff, when I leave, but I know I need to stay there just for my employee morale. You're doing a great job today. So I spent the bulk of my day patting on the back and sitting up front, So it's a hard balance. Sometimes my creative side has to go on the back burner, even though that's the favorite side of me, because I got to motivate my team. Today I wanted to do it. I had to run down to the second location and let the painter in. So it's a hard balance.
Yeah.
Well, you oftentimes, as a business owner, you're the chef, you're the dishwasher, you're in charge of team morale, you're a server, you're accountant sometimes, banker, lawyer, all sorts of things that require to be an entrepreneur. It's not easy, but it's oftentimes worth it. So when we get back, we're going to talk about biscuits and jam, what's actually on the menu, and how to craft a menu and what's happening next for the business with the second location.
Awesome.
You're listening to Grindset, and we'll be right back after the break.
Grindset. Blues in the basement. Blues in the basement.
I was born in 71, so that was kind of the year that all of Al Green's hits starting to pop off.
Blues in the basement on the Kazukian Network.
We are back on Grindset Podcast, powered by Kazukian, and we are sitting here with Chef Mo of Biscuits and Jam. And before we left off, we were talking about building team morale, and I just wanted to mention that my father spent 40 years in the food and retail industry. And he tells me to this day, Dana, the most underutilized coupon in the food industry is customer service. So how in the world, and everybody wants to know this, how do you find team members that will serve people with the same dignity and kindness that you do? I hear it all the time. We can't find good people. How can you do that?
I think I don't know. I look for something special in each person I interview. You know, I listen to the words that they say. I have actually my leads interview the people. I might not even talk to them. I might talk to them, I might not. I might just walk by and say hello and see their mannerisms. So I think finding good people, you have to utilize the good people that you already have. You know, a lot of times we just want to, we just need somebody in this spot. I know I have about 4 positions that I need to fill right now. And we've had this past Friday, which was one of our busiest days, we had interviews and, you know, and they were like, yeah, we want this job. And every last one of them, I was like, no. So no, she doesn't talk. She didn't smile.
Wow.
You know, and it's like, well, what? And then I'll explain to them why, and they're like, I get that. I saw that too.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so that's going to affect the team.
So how'd you develop your customer service philosophy?
I worked in clinical research for 26 years. 7 years at St. Jude. The remaining part was Big Pharma. And I was the one that had to go in for probably about 8 to 10 of those years to go in when there were problems at the particular research sites. And I had to sit down with the doctors. And doctors don't play, especially oncology doctors.
You know, I just seen the thing. When I think of doctors, sometimes I think that they have God complexes or something.
Well, and they do. And they do. You know, and especially the ones that save lives, you know, like all doctors, but you think about an oncologist. You know, you got somebody that's coming in with stage 3 cancer, and they're building a plan to save this person's life. Yeah, they do. And you come in there with you know, I got a master's degree. I come in there with a master's degree. What life have you saved? You know, and I've had to stand toe to toe and tell them this is wrong, and I need you to fix this. We're going to create a corrective action plan, and then I'll be back out. You know, now I'm saying a little harsher than I would say to them, but this is how I would say. That's what I would say. So I had to develop. We had to develop a respect for each other.
Yep.
You know, and I'm a Black female. You know, we get beat up on. We the most disrespected race and gender of it all. So, you know, I took a lot away from that in those experiences, and I've tried to bring that over into my businesses, no matter what no matter what I'm doing. Is that when I walk in the room, I know my knowledge, and you can't take that away. So I walk in the room that way, and I handle people in that way. I don't disrespect them. You're not going to disrespect me.
I love that. I love that. let's talk about some more challenges. Being a woman in business, especially a Black woman in business, having to stand up for yourself and the knowledge that you know and what you know to be true. Is there any other type of challenges that you feel you've had as a Black woman, and how did you overcome them?
I've faced where I've been in partnerships where I'm said, no, we need to do it this way. And I remember someone specifically telling me when I was telling them about pricing, and I said, well, when I had my bakery, we did this, this, and this. This is not a bakery. And I stood there, in the middle of not just me and that male standing there, this man, but another man. Just in a minute, just completely just like, you don't know what you're talking about. You just owned a bakery. Food is food.
Right.
And I owned a bakery that I funded with my own money. I owned a bakery where I did cakes and desserts for the mayor, for the chief of police, Andy Wise, Darcy Thomas. I mean, for all over the city. That even to this day, they still remember me. But I was told in an instant, in that second, I was like, it knocked me down. I was like, oh, but it taught me something. I know what I know, and I would never, ever. And it happened, and I stayed in that partnership, and I felt disrespected the whole time after that. But it taught me I will never, ever, I don't care who you are. I know what I know, and you're not gonna make me think I don't know what I know.
I mean, I think that's a good segue because entrepreneurship oftentimes can be lonely. We've had a lot of solopreneurs on the Grindset, but you've had multiple partnerships. Talk about we've heard some of the challenges. Talk about some of the benefits of going into business, into partnership with others.
I think if you are in a partnership with people that you are, and I like to use the phrase, equally yoked with. We have a common goal. We know what we're doing. We understand each other's strengths. I can do accounting. My mom, chief financial officer. The whole time I was growing up, I could do it. Hate it, but I can do it. But I'd rather focus on operations on the day to day. So, okay, you do that well, so you take that and I trust you. We review stuff. Website, having a partner that does that and manages that. So just finding people that you all can appreciate and respect each other's strengths versus tearing each other down and that particular person or whomever is trying to do everything. But it's a mutual respect that you have to have for one another. So I think that's very important. I think that's the thing with Biscuits and Jams that I find is that, I have partners, but we understand each other's, what we know how to do.
Got it. For you, with all this knowledge that you have, you are constantly giving back to other entrepreneurs, whether they're in the food service industry or not. How important is it to you to continue to give back to other businesses through the Boss Chick think tank?
So being a female entrepreneur, like I've said, we get hit with a lot, and then I'll say, and I'm single, I'm not married. So I don't have anybody to come and say, okay, you're not going to talk to my wife like that. You're not going to, or you're not going to do so-and-so. So I've had to, through this, develop a toughness about myself. Whereas, I didn't start that way, So what I like to tell women, and when I mentor women, is that you have to understand, and I don't hate to keep saying this, so I'm not going to apologize for that you have to believe that you know what you know. You cannot allow anyone to try to take that away from you. And I think as a female, as a woman,
yes,
that's the biggest obstacle that we have, that what we know is not appreciated. Being a chef is not a female industry.
Right.
Because we're supposed to be soft. We cook for family. We nurture. In the kitchen is cutthroat. No crying in the kitchen. No attitudes in the kitchen. Really, it's very little femininity in the kitchen. I had to pull my hair up. I'm coming in with my jeans on, my t-shirt. I got a baseball cap on my head. And I got to get in there with the boys, and most of them standing, I'm 4'5", they standing 6 feet or higher. And I got to get right there and get in there with them. I got to correct them when they're not doing what they're supposed to do. You know, so I tell female entrepreneurs in the Boss Chick think tank, you got to believe in yourself, make sure you're knowledgeable, show respect, but also know who you are and know whose you are.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a powerful message, and you know, if I'm a woman entrepreneur, I'd listen to that over and over and over again as an affirmation. But you mentioned the kitchen. What all is on the menu at Biscuits and Jam? What can we expect when the audience members, like I did, walk into Biscuits and Jam?
You can expect Southern Cajun food, you know, Delta food. We do, a lot of my stuff is Cajun inspired dishes. I try to keep them not hot because everybody doesn't like hot stuff. but you know, we have our shrimp and crawfish Creole Benedict. It's on a fried grit cake, cheddar grit cake, topped with sauteed spinach, poached egg, homemade roux, shrimp and crawfish, our shrimp and grits. Right now, I'm running a special. We are doing a catfish with a crawfish gravy on grits, which is really good. I had to keep my staff from eating. I'm like, you can't eat up all the catfish and stuff from the customers. Po' boys and all of that. So a lot of those things. Also, we got my grandmother's homemade biscuits. Can't leave those out because it wouldn't be Biscuits and Jams without those buttermilk biscuits.
And I've had that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So how do you ensure that you make money in the restaurant industry with all this failure out here?
Quality, good quality product, good customer service. Last year was a really big year for us. We started the year off kind of in a deficit. I was afraid. I was like, I don't know if we're going to make it. But you know, buckling down and really rallying the troops, bringing the staff in and say, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do this together. And we had one of the best years that I could have ever imagined. I as long as I've been doing this, I never thought to myself like, man, we made over $1 million. We were like at 1.1 last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You did so well that a second location is coming.
Yes.
Tell us about that process and why opening a location in addition to Bartlett in downtown Memphis. Why was that the right decision?
It was the right decision because we got the opportunity to partner with a major brand. And through that process and them learning about us and what we had to offer, the conversation started with when this goes well, they're looking to place us nationally. And that was always my goal. I went in there with the thought process that this is not going to be the only Biscuits and Jams. We're going to have Biscuits and Jams throughout the country.
So you're taking that project management, you have the process of how to create, how to cook, how to deliver excellent customer service,
how to lead.
Where can the Grindset audience find more information about Chef Mo, what you're doing, and Biscuits and Jam?
Well, of course, they can visit our Biscuits and Jams website, which is biscuitsandjams.com. And then also my website, Chef Mo Creates at .com. So.
Well, listen, we know you have an alderman meeting right after this, so we don't want to hold you too long. Dana, any parting words for Chef Mo?
Chef Mo, again, you are incredible. I've been sitting here listening, and as a fellow entrepreneur myself, I keep hearing, hold on to your truth. Hold on to your truth. Hold on to your knowledge. Hold on to what you know. And you just coming on and just sharing your experiences on how you've gotten stronger as a leader and in holding on to what you know to be true is inspirational for everyone. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I could just leave one thing. I have a speaking engagement coming up with some kids later this month, and that's my topic. And I thought to myself, I was like, she believed she could, so she did.
That's perfect.
Well, Chef Mo, thank you. Very, very powerful, and we appreciate it. We'll be right back with the major keys and closing thoughts after the break. You're listening to Grindset, powered by Kazukian.
Grindset. Riffin' on Jazz.
Just to name a few now.
Yeah.
Name a fruit. A fruit.
You had too much of that water.
What's in your water, Howard?
Riffin' on Jazz on the Kazukian Network.
Welcome back to Grindset. We just finished interviewing Chef Mo, owner chef at Biscuits and Jam. Also, don't forget she does do consulting. The restaurant business is very, very difficult. So to the extent that you can learn and fast track your experiences by hiring and paying for a coach to help you through that experience, I think you need to check out Chef Mo. Biscuits and Jam is delicious. And if you haven't visited yet, they're in Bartlett. Please check them out. Some of my major keys from the episode is find your purpose. And one A to that is your purpose is often rooted in your upbringing. Something about your past that happened to you, both good and or bad. You can find your purpose in that. Do whatever it takes to ensure success. For Chef Mo, sometimes that's washing dishes. Sometimes that's sweeping floors. It's doing whatever's necessary to ensure your business is successful. Show your team that you're a team player, that you're not asking them to do anything you're not willing to do. I'm kind of mixed and 50-50 on that, but I'll leave that message there. From a financial recipe standpoint, know your numbers. You're in business and you cannot escape the financial side and the number side of business. If you enter into any partnerships with any other owners, please know and understand the strengths and the weaknesses of your partners and ensure that you all are a good fit for each other. You don't need two CEOs. You might need a CEO, a chef, a COO, a customer service person, a creative, right? Make sure that you guys gel well and that you have the same goal in mind. And I'm telling you, in a restaurant, customer service can be your biggest X factor. It's restaurants that the food might not be the best, but when you walk in there, you feel amazing. The people treat you with the respect that you deserve, like you're actually spending money on them, like you're patronizing their business. They treat you very well. And so you continue to go, even though the food might just be all right. But when you can combine great food with a great menu, with great customer service, I think that's the formula for success in the food service industry. If you're a woman in business, a Black woman in business, believe that you know what you know. Your experiences are valid. The work that you've put in and valid, and don't shrink yourself just because people are telling you that they are not. And like Dana said, hold on to your truth. Dana?
Yes, I'd like to segue into what I'm saying with what you just said, Brack, as far as being a woman in business and owning your truth. One thing that will help you do that, and that's a takeaway that I have from this, is as you are in business and you're gaining knowledge and you're holding on to what you know to be true, also hold on to your results. Even your negative thoughts can't dispute results. So when you, yes, if you've been in an industry for a certain amount of years and you helped a percentage of something go up or down, or you figured out how to increase sales or save on unnecessary cost, or you turned something around, all of those are results that can't be disputed. And as women, Black women in particular, you want to hold on to your truth and to your results. And Chef Mo had plenty of them. Another truth, talking about customer service, again, my father said customer service is one of the most underutilized coupons there is. It's also a big PR machine for you too. Customer service, how you treat people, that is what people are going to be saying about your company. Another thing that I realized that what Chef Mo has done is she has built in incentives for her team to do well in almost every area, of the business. And she's made it to where when the washer does well, the cook does well. When the cook does well, the waiter does well. Everybody is tethered together in a healthy way to meet a goal.
Dana, thank you so much. And I hope you all enjoyed Chef Mo as much as we did. Thank you all for listening to Grindset, powered by Kazukian. Keep grinding.
Grindset. Executive producer Epicenter. Grindset is directed, produced, and distributed by Kazukian.